What up, YouTube? So this is going to be part 6 of the Honda Civic K24 TSX swap, and today we're going to be finishing hopefully all the little stuff we need to do to get the car on the road and driving for a test drive. So today we're going to be installing our slim fan, and we also have to run the fan from over here, which is right here actually. So we have to run this over to this side, extend that wiring. We also will be putting an intake. I was just using this for temporary to have that sensor in there, but we have the intake as well that we're going to be dropping in here. We're going to be putting the lower and upper radiator hoses. I got to just cut this one to fit. Probably have to do the same for the bottom one as well. And then we have to do the last wire for the alternator, so I have to extend this to the fuse box. So that'll give me charge harness power, and then the blue wire or white and blue wire inside that I showed you guys yesterday will be tapping into the B plug on the engine harness as well. So that'll give us the light on the dash, the battery light. And then we also have to rewire this speed sensor. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that, and then we're going to have to most likely go into the K Pro and switch the signal and see if we can just run it like that. If not, we might need a speed converter, but we shall see. And then I'm going to have to run this hose to right there because I'm blocking the idle air control valve, so we won't be running anything over this. We'll probably just put a vacuum port over it. Other than that, just got to tighten up a couple bolts for the mounts, and then we have to bleed the clutch, and we also have to do our throttle cable and throttle bracket, so we'll be putting that on as well. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and start by getting the radiator setup done. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this, put the install on the slim fan, and then we're gonna go ahead and install the bottom hose and cut that to fit, and then I'll show you guys how that looks. And then I will also start installing the intake, since I gotta see exactly how I'm gonna actually run it. And then we'll come back and we'll see how that all looks. Alright, so we're back now, and I just want to show you what we got going on. So I used a stock TSX upper hose and bottom hose. The bottom hose I didn't really cut, just kind of left it how it was, and just put a hose clamp to it, so that's good on there. I also installed the reservoir right here, and I installed the intake, and I put the intake air temperature sensor on there as well, so that's all ready to go. And then I connected the line from here to the heater hose pipe. So we're almost getting there. Now what's next we got to do is connect our throttle cable and our bracket. I'm not sure if this throttle cable will work on here stock, so we'll see. Might have to throw the RSX one on here. If not, I'll throw that on there as well. And then we're going to be putting on our temperature sensor wire, so we're going to run that from the inside and run that through here. And then we're gonna extend our wires for the fan over here, and then we're gonna go ahead and extend the wire for the alternator to the fuse box. So basically we're gonna start getting most of our wiring done so we can have the full gauge cluster working. And we're also gonna go ahead and tap the blue wire, or the white and blue wire, for the alternator as well. So basically alternator wiring and fan wiring, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the throttle bracket and throttle cable. So we're gonna knock that out real quick, and then we'll come back. Alright, so I just want to go over what we did so far now. We got our temperature sensor all wired up. We got our charge harness all wired up. And then let me show you the blue wire, or wait, let me show you the exhaust from JFab. So this is the mid pipe, 3 inches, and it's gonna go from the K-tune headers and then it's gonna go to the stock RSX Type S muffler. So he's getting that done right now. I think everything is all welded. We just gotta go get a gasket maker, or to make a gasket for the front side of the header, and then we'll see how that sounds. And then we're gonna also bleed the radiator fluid and everything. We also got to do the brakes as well and clutch, which we'll probably be doing right now. Let me show you guys real quick. So the blue wire that I tapped to is right there. So you can see it's the white and blue wire on the white plug, which is B10. And then the fan switch I just grounded, so it's always going to stay on all the time. And then I extended my radiator harness, or my radiator fan harness, over. So we got that all basically ready. So now all we got to do is get the exhaust on. We got to tighten a couple bolts, bleed the brakes and the clutch, and just make sure everything's good and tight. We should be able to take this thing for a ride. So I'm gonna go to the store right fast and go get the gasket sheet maker so we can get that done, and then hopefully we'll get this thing on the road on the next time we're back on here. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick and come back. All right, so we are back right now, and before we get this car back on the road, I forgot we're gonna have to install the speed converter. The reason why we need a speed converter for this swap is because the TSX reads a little bit different, sort of like the 0506 RSX. So the speed sensor's in the front, which is, I believe it reads like a HAL sensor, and the other RSXs and EP3s and everything, they run with like a B series type speed sensor, which is a different reading signal. So the K-Tune basically gives you a speed converter kit to convert it, and they show you how with the pins and everything you have to convert over to get the actual wiring to work. So I'm most likely going to take the pin off of the TSX and just or the clip from the TSX, because this is the clip that they're talking about. So as you can see, you have to depin it, and then the other clip, it'll show you which wire. Let me see if I can show you the wiring real quick. Okay, no, it's not it. But yeah, you basically, they tell you on this paper on how to convert. So actually it's right here. So on the OEM Type S 02 to 04, you got black, which is ground, black yellow, which is power, and then white green, which is signal. And so when you depin those, the new plug is going to be power, which is going to be number 2, the signal, which is going to be from number 3, and then ground, which was number 1. So you have to repin it like that. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're also going to have to take the actual 4 wires that it comes with, which is this right here. No, that's not it. That's actually, this actually you need to hook up to a laptop, and this little box that it comes with will switch the converter to like S2000, 0506, and or 0204, depending on what setup you have. So that'll connect into that, and then these 4 wires are basically going to be for, one's power, one's ground, and those tap into, I believe it says on here, it taps into A plug 3 and 4, and then the other 2 wires, I believe we have to go on the harness and find the speed sensor wire. And I believe one of these wires goes to one and the other one goes to the other. I'll show you exactly how I wired it up once I do it. So we got to do that. And then I just wanted to show you guys how the car sounds now with the new mid-pipe from JPAB. 3 inches, no bends, all completely flow. So it actually sounds really quiet. when you hear it. So I'm gonna let you guys see how it sounds. So yeah, pretty quiet still. I mean, when you rev it, it does get a little louder, but not too bad for 3-inch piping, no cat, no resonator. And for having headers too as well. So the car is really quiet. I already started filling up the radiator fluid. I just gotta tighten down the rear mount, and then we should be about ready to go. I gotta fill up the transmission fluid as well, so, and still do the clutch and brake. So just wanted to show you guys how it sounds, but I think it sounds pretty good for 3-inch piping. No check engine lights. Everything's running pretty good on it right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this speed converter real fast so I can show you guys how that wiring works for anybody who needs to install one. So I'm gonna wire that up and then we'll come back. All right, so before we get back on the road, I wanted to show you guys the wiring for the K-tuned vehicle speed sensor converter. And right now I got these two wires right here. So the red wire is gonna go to A3, which is a yellow black wire, which is power. And then your black wire is gonna go to the black wire right next to it, which is A4. So as far as that, that's pretty direct and simple. You got power and ground. And then you got white and blue. So on this actual plug, there's a white green wire, which is this one right here. It's A18, and on that wire, it splits into two. So when you unwrap the wiring and go all the way up to about, I'd say 8 to 10 inches up from the plug, the white wire is gonna go to the green white going to the engine harness, and then the one that's coming to the ECU, which is basically the two wires, is gonna connect to the blue one. So that's all you have to do on that. And then let me show you, I repinned the actual speed sensor using the TSX plug, so it plugged right in. And so let me unplug it real fast. Alright, so when you rewire it, this is how I did it. So I got black yellow on the left with the plug actually up, and then I have the green white in the center, and then the black wire, which is ground, on the right. So pretty simple. That's all you have to do to wire up your speed converter into your car. If you already have a 0506 harness, you don't have to actually repin it. But if you are using 0204 like I am, you do. And that is how you wire up the speed converter. So right now we're only gonna start this car up and get it warmed up, and we'll go ahead and get this thing on the road. As you can see, it's super quiet too. All right, so I'm gonna stop and then we'll come back right now. All right, so we're on the road now, and it's time to give this car a little test drive. Right now I have a check engine light because the speed sensor, I haven't programmed it yet. I just wanted to actually take the car out for a drive to see how it feels and see what needs to be done as far as any bugs that I find out. But right now it's running really smooth, temperature's working. Only thing that's not working is speed right now, but other than that, the car's running really good, and all the gears are going in real smooth. Only thing I think I gotta do is bleed the clutch maybe, or bleed the brakes a little bit more. And yeah, this car should be ready to run the hatch, the K20Z1, this weekend. So we'll be throwing that video up as well. We also gotta finish up the Del Sol. Maybe might throw that into the race too, see how that one's running. And yeah, we got a lot of more content coming through for you guys. Just trying to knock some of these projects out because the Spider's coming. I got the mounts for that one, so I'm actually filming the video to take that swap out as we speak, or today as actually. But yeah, the car runs good so far. All I have to do now is do a little map, because this is actually my K20 Honda that I'm running on here, since I got to go buy a laptop. So I'll be going to go buy that probably later on today, so I can have this ready for this weekend. But so far so good. No overheating, no weird noises. The exhaust from JFab sounds really good, so it's real quiet, no exhaust leak, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm just doing, this is just a little test drive, guys. This isn't a full one because I don't have the speed sensor working, so I can't go all out right now, but the next video I definitely will. And like I said, we'll have some races for you guys with this car and the other hatch. Other than that, guys, stay tuned. If you haven't, like, share, subscribe, comment, let me know what you guys think. If you want to get a hold of me or DM me, you can go on K24a2 on Instagram. And if you have any questions, just let me know. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. A lot more videos coming soon, and I'll see you guys next time.